and then after this, I gotta go on Instagram. Hold on.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
I want to do that like two more times in a row. I
Well,
love that thing. It just
yeah, it was fun.
fills my heart space.
You did your
Good.
thing.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the show. Here. My name is Antoine, known as Twan. You can look at me, reach me on Instagram, IG, cut_43, or Antoine Downey on Facebook. Um, because my co-host, Najee.
Hello, everybody. I'm Najee. You can follow me on Healing with Najee on IG and all other platforms. I'm out today, so you might hear a little bit of noise in the background, but once I get settled in, it shouldn't be so noisy. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. It'll be a fun topic.
Trinity. Trinity.
My bad. I'm talking to the air again. I had my mic muted.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those nights, fellas.
Yeah.
It's all
Hi.
good.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Trinity. You can find me on Facebook at n._d. You can listen, man. You can find me here. Go on, go on. Cause I'm streaming from both platforms. So with that being said, whichever platform you're listening in on, this is where you can find me: YouTube, Facebook, and IG.
That'll work.
That'll work.
I'm so happy. So tonight's topic is going to be about what qualifies a man. Now, because your girl Trinity is clearly not a man, and I don't care what society says, right? I am a chick, all right? I'm a cupcake. So, with that being said, I'm going to turn the show over to my co-hosts, Naji and Tuan, to take it away. But before we do that, let me set the tone.
Here. Time to get you guys to think yet again.
Niggas like to scream, I'm a real nigga. I'm real this, I'm a real that. Let me tell you something, man. That ain't easy to be, bro. That ain't easy to be. You care about people that you know ain't gonna care about you back. You go all out for people that's what being real is, man. That's what being real is. Sometimes you gotta take it on the chin as a real man. Sometimes you do stuff that you don't want to do. You gotta swallow your pride to be real. It ain't always easy being real. You carry everybody else's burden. Niggas want to scream, I'm a real this, I'm a real that, until it's time to be that. That's why you don't see too many real niggas. Everybody can't be real. Everybody can't be a real man. Everybody can't be solid. Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot caring about people that you know don't care about you like that. That ain't going to be the same way you are. That ain't going to put forth the same effort. But day in and day out, you continue to do it. Not for them, for you. For you. Because that's who you are. That's who you are. So everybody with all that, I'm real, I'm nigga, you ain't ready to be real, nigga. You ain't ready to stand on certain principles, nigga. That's why y'all niggas fold under pressure. It ain't too many of us out here, nigga. We rare, for real, nigga.
Well, alrighty then.
Mm.
That was Twan's choice of the week. And when he DM'd it to me, I was like, OMG. That is absolutely perfect. You know, and I also thought that, wow, I can really learn a lot from from this topic. So I'm going to leave it open to you men, and you can do what you want with whatever we have.
Um, yes, definitely a good topic tonight. So I picked it and figured that it will be a good topic for us on the show tonight, and because I hear this a lot, for us a real nigga. I'm a real nigga. This. I'm a real nigga. That. I'm a real nigga. This. I'm a real nigga. That. So we want to see from the audience, from people in the comments, what y'all think. What a real nigga, a real, as he say, a real nigga should be. So I'm gonna turn it over to my colleagues, my co-host, Najee, and give him the first choice. What he think a real nigga is. Najee.
I think for me, the whole concept of a real nigga, just take the word away. The nigga is just a real man. I would say it's just somebody who knows how to stand on himself, be a be a man of principle, be a man of understanding, be a man of order. I think that starts the biggest differentiator between regular men, quote unquote, and real niggas is his ability to understand himself. And I think a lot of times men don't have a concept of self, and they play this position or play this role based on what society told them that they need to be, and that's where the disconnect comes from, because there's not a lack of understanding of self.
Okay. On you, Andrew. Um, me personally, I think a lot of people get it confused of what a real nigga is supposed to be, or as you say, they say a real nigga, but I believe say supposed to say a real man. You know what I'm saying? People get it as like if if I hold my own in the streets, or if I hold my own far as a nigga talking to me any kind of way, or I hold my own far as with my family or stuff like that. But people fail to realize it with a real man should be his separate responsibility of your own actions, and taking care your responsibilities, um holding things down far as at home, far as your house, having a job, um, doing what a man's supposed to do, far as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like when you coming up, it's steps, it's baby steps. You know what I'm saying? It's it's steps as when you're a child, when you become a teenager, you become a young man. You know what I mean? You doing things as teenagers. When you become a man, you start doing things as a man doing manly things. But far as ripping and running the streets, selling drugs, and doing this, or holding out, far as not letting another grown ass man talk to you in this snap any kind of way, it's not it's not like far as being a real nigga as they say. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're not supposed to let another grown ass man talk to you any kind of way. What man you know gonna let another grown man talk to you any kind of way? Yeah, but that's where two men become. You supposed to come together and handle it as two men, and we let that person know, like, don't disrespect me. You know what I mean? And we can talk about this. That's handling things as a man. You know what I'm saying? At times, we all know things may get out of hand because some people may feel as though they have feelings involved. They want to get out. They want to jump out there and stuff like that. But when you start talking to another man and y'all start communicating as men, that's that's a real man right there. You know what I'm saying? When you know how to handle things as communicating and not always trying to come to a violent situation.
That that makes sense.
Right.
I don't know if you want to.
What's your thoughts, Tony?
Yeah, I think in terms of qualifiers for men, the only thing, excuse me, the only thing that I have to really gauge from is my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I say my husband because I can appreciate a man today, and there are things that he carries within himself that has me say, wow, that's a man, right? Or that's manly, such as standing up to shake another man's hand. Noticing when a younger man shakes his hand in introduction. For me, I think a man is seen in not what he does, but in his disposition, because his disposition will determine how he moves. And a disposition of a man is someone of noble character. Like the video said, he's willing to take it on the chin, which says to me that a man is not prideful, but humble. A man is not aggressive, yet he is stern. A man comes with a purpose, and that's to say for his future legacy. His legacy. And a man is someone who plans for the care of the woman who's going to be nurturing his seed. So a man to me is somewhat of a farmer. He's industrious. He's he's into agriculture. It's just something about a man that is very distinguishable. And if a woman takes the time to be still in her spirit, in her mind, and in her soul, she will have no problems in identifying a man when one is in her presence. Hey, you.
Okay. Najee, what you take to that?
I agree. I think, especially when she was saying about being able to just cultivate and create a space to where the seed can grow, especially being a farmer. That's dope. I like that because I think a lot of times it's establishing the right environment to be able to get the seed to cultivate and grow. And I think being a man stems from your ability to be able to do that. And I think as a whole, we kind of, as a society, I should say, we kind of lost sight of that because everybody's trying to be real niggas and real this, but it's like your presence would speak for what makes you real, not your words. And I think a lot
Right.
of times we don't focus in on a person's presence and what they're doing based on the stuff that they're not saying. And I think that's a major key to it as well.
Right. I, it's it's like people. I mean, I don't. Me personally, I mean, when they say real nigga, what is the real? People be using words they don't know the real meaning to it. Be honest with you, because what is a real nigga? I'll be honest with you, because I couldn't even tell you what is a real nigga. I can tell you what a real man is, but I can't tell you what a real nigga is. You know what I'm saying? So what it really is a real nigga? I mean, I kind of hate that he even used that word and that kind of like, and I get what he was saying and where he was going at with it, but I just kind of hate that he used the wrong word for that terminology. You know what I'm saying? He could have just said a real man, but I get where he was going at with it. He basically like using it like for the young cats. Cause you know how these young dudes out here, these young dudes be like, real nigga this, real nigga that, real nigga this, real nigga that. You know what I mean? So I get where he was taking it at and where he was using it at, but I just feel like that word shouldn't have been used for that. You know what I mean? You can use different words to reach these young people out here. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes people be feeling like you gotta talk their language to get to them. You know what I mean? And I don't really think you have to use them type of words. You just gotta know how to talk. You get them? You know what I mean? So, but like I say, but far as being a real man, you just gotta know. You just gotta take care of your responsibilities and accept your responsibility. What comes behind it. That's all about being a man. You know what I mean? So, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think it's also like responsibility if you really break it down as one's ability to respond. And a lot of times when it comes to being a man, I'll just say man because a real man and a fake man is you either a man or you're not. Um, but it's one's ability to understand how to respond, especially when it comes to situational awareness and understanding that. And I think a lot of times people get it confused just because you're a male, you think a man is supposed to respond a certain way, and it's more so about you being able to understand that certain areas, certain environments, you don't always need to respond, and it's having the ability to know when to respond and when not to respond. I think that's a big differentiator as well because a lot of times people just react and they just go with what they think instead of going with what's conducive for the environment and being able to understand how to balance yourself in that state versus always being reactive and whatnot.
Trinity.
So I get what you said, Twan, in terms of we have to change our vocabulary
Mm-hmm.
because we are. It seems like we're convoluting, the niggas from the men when they are very well distinguishable. So because they are distinguishable, then we have to distinguish them at least in this topic and even in future discussions. And I agree because I think that we just use words because it makes us feel better in 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 hearing ourselves say whatever it is that we want to say, even though we're not really saying what we want to say, because we are sprinkling it with a whole bunch of fluff. You know what I mean? Which dilutes the whole entire message. But also, I think that I also can see what Naji was saying in terms of it's really more about action than words because people like to say what they would like to do, or well, let me rephrase that, what they would like to think that they're doing, when in fact they're not doing a goddamn thing except for just talking. So instead of just talking, just talk and talk. What is it? Walk the talk. I'm so like, bleh. You have to walk the talk, and in walking the talk, then you get to prove yourself amongst your peers that you are a man because men recognizes other men just like men recognizes boys and boys recognizes boys and boys recognizes men. So while from my perspective, while a woman may say, oh, a real man does this and a real man does that, I'm here to tell you she don't know what the hell she's talking about. She don't
Big
know what a real
facts.
man is because if she knew what a real man was, she would do whatever it took to secure and keep that quote unquote real man in her presence, in her life, because it's just something of value to have as a part of experience, in your own life. So, yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm tired. I am exhausted. Twan.
Yeah, I get exactly where you're coming from. Um, Is people like you say, people people just I mean people just get it confused and get it you know what I mean? Like I say, you're using the wrong words. When you use words, you just gotta know the words you're using, and you gotta know what you're talking about. First of all, you know what I mean? Saying because, like you say, when a woman say a real man would do this, a real man would do that, she only she don't know what a real man is. Because one, she's not a man. Two, but she only going off of what she's seen. Yeah, I mean that's the only thing she's going off of. She's only going off what she's seen. She ain't going off of something she know for a fact. You know what I mean? Because he could be doing this and that, and it could be wrong. But the whole time at the back of her mind, she might be thinking that's what a real man is, or she might be going off what her father might show them. You know what I'm saying? So everything is basically like a learning experience, a stepping stone. Is like a copycat because all you're doing is going off of what you see, especially if you don't have that mom and dad in the same crib. You know what I'm saying? To show that. You know what I mean? But if you just only got a woman in the crib, you ain't gonna know that not one bit. You know what I'm saying? Unless you rip and run in the streets and somebody show you from out the streets. And I doubt if you get it from there. You know what I mean? But as far as like I said, being a real nigga as they say, I don't even know what the fuck a real nigga is. I know what
But
a
here's a
real man.
caveat to what you said, though, Twad. And I
Huh?
think that this is what most. I said, here's a caveat to what you said, right?
Okay.
And I believe. No, I don't believe. I think. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that. I think I think I got some issues. Tonight is just not my night, but I'm here. I'm here. So here's the
And we
caveat.
appreciate you for being here. Thank you.
Oh, I received that. So here's the thing, right? It may appear as if she's going off of based on what she's seen, but that's not true at all. In fact, that is so far from the truth. It's not even on the same continent. She's going by what she's trying to avoid feeling like. You understand what I'm saying? A real
Hmm.
man would do this because I would feel better in having that man. A real man would do the other thing because I would feel better in watching him. A real man don't say this to a woman. Says a real man is someone who allows me to say whatever I want to say, whenever I want to say it, in absence of consequences and repercussions.
Hmm.
So, with that being the case, a woman who wants to say what a real man is, I'm here to tell you, she is out of order, disorderly, rebellious, without discipline, and no self control. And she doesn't want order or structure. She wants to do what she wants as she pleases without repercussions and consequences. Because women are not held accountable for their current experiences based on their past behaviors.
Hmm.
But I get it. Women, we just don't move that way. We move from the space of forgiveness, We move from the space of uh chances. We move from the space of prospect. We move from the space of possibilities. We're very abstract. So abstract that there are no defining lines to anything that we say that we want, that we don't want, that we think, that we feel. There are no defining factors that will allow anyone that is outside of her mind space to know what the hell she's talking about and to truly know what she really means. I yield.
Nigel.
Yeah, I agree with what Trinity was saying. I think a lot of times it just sounds good. Like if a person said a real man, it's usually coming from a woman, and usually that woman is saying based on what she didn't experience and her not liking how she felt. So it's her way of almost like invalidating the person that she was with, as a way to make herself feel better. Like, oh, a real man would do this, but you chose this guy. So why did you choose this guy? It's like most of the time, a lot of times when people be like a real man or a real woman, it's like, who is the one defining these terms, and what makes you think those qualities make a man a real man if you never actually experienced those things? Most of the time, what people are saying a real man does is based on what they never experienced before to even know it would have. It's one of those things where it creates more of a disconnect because they don't realize it's a byproduct of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like energetically, it's a byproduct of you. You're attracting these type of people into your life. You're being this way. So in you not paying attention to the role that you're playing in this position, it's almost like your way of trying to invalidate his position because you don't like how you feel within yourself. And I think that's a major disconnect because most people don't understand what it takes. A lot of women have this idea of a man being a certain way, but not actually taking the time to understand what characteristics make a man really a man. It's not about the money. It's not about the flashiness. It's about his personality, his relationship to himself. How does he behave when he's angry? How does he behave when he's happy? Like, is understanding the dynamic of the vastness of what makes a man is not based on what social media is teaching people.
Okay. So the question now, the next question I got for you, what what qualifies a man, a real man, to have a real woman? Anyone y'all could take the table.
What qualifies a real man to have a real woman?
Yeah.
I think his ability to understand himself. I'm gonna always go with self, and I think a lot of times we attract who we are, and most of the time, the idea of who we think we want a person to be is based on our own insecurities. Um, but it's like understanding the aspect of once you learn to embrace and accept yourself, the people you attract into your life will be different. So real men only attract quote unquote real women because energetically they're not going to be entertained by the things that doesn't represent what a woman looks like in their eyes because they have some type of substance about themselves. So I think that's really the key.
Okay. Trinity.
For me, uh, see that question kind of like feels wonky in my mind because what the hell is an unreal man? You either are or you're not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So from that perspective, how do I distinguish a man from a guy who is not disciplined? Discipline to me is the biggest thing because if a man is disciplined, then he comes with work ethics. He comes with a regime. I mean a regimen, right? A regime. I'm thinking so big. He sticks to a regimen because he's disciplined. He sticks to his plans because he's disciplined. He's not loose in his loins because he's disciplined. He's not emotionally unhinged because he's emotionally self-regulated because he's disciplined. So for me, a man, I distinguish uh, a man from a guy based on discipline, and I also factor in honor. An honorable man is a sexy man. He's in it for the good, and he's coming with integrity. Ooh, integrity. That man, my list can go on, and y'all ain't got time, and I ain't got the energy. But y'all know what I mean. I yield. I'm tired.
Trinity said, "Yeah, I can go on and on." Hey, Najee, you hear this?
Oh yeah, I'm listening. All she's doing is she reminded us it's her husband. That's what she's thinking about. Every time
Right.
she say a real man, it's just her husband, and she just goes. I could go on. It's the integrity, the discipline. But she's right. It's understanding the qualities and what makes a man a man is what attracts the woman to the man. Like it's one of those things where a lot of the times the qualities that women find attractive is the guy being a man versus the concept of being a man, and it's due to maturity and her level of self-awareness within herself, type of thing.
Right. Um.
Let me find out Miss Cleo would have fared better in her fake ass psychic reading abilities as she came at your skills. Man, you are the bomb, Najee.
I appreciate it.
Now let's not get it twisted. I'm exhausted, but I ain't dead. All
Oh
right,
yeah,
so
you good. That's why I
right,
appreciate you being here.
Right. You
but
said the show
Najee,
must go on.
I'm
You
trying to tell
know.
you now, right? But
Right.
Najee, can you join the live on IG so that I can interact into the comment section?
I can't. I'm on my phone. I'm usually on my laptop. So
Oh, my bad. I
you
see that.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my
All right,
phone
so for
now.
those who are checking in on IG, because I see you guys in the comments, come on over to YouTube.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
link. There's a link in the comment section on YouTube where you can join the discussion. Or if not join the discussion, you can just sit back in the comment section over there where we are more live because there's a lag between Facebook and IG. So if you want to come over to YouTube, did I say Facebook? Well, I'm on Facebook too. God dang it.
Oh yeah, you
IG and
good.
Facebook. Yeah, come on over to YouTube. If you want to join the discussion, you have the opportunity to join by clicking on the link in the comment section. Or you can just chill, sit back, and just watch the show. How are you?
Hmm. Nice going, Trinity.
Thank you, host
All right,
Twan.
Twan. Twan, what are your thoughts on this?
Um.
How does
My
a woman know?
my thoughts on it is what makes a real man to qualify for a real woman. Um. His awareness, like you say, his awareness, his his awareness, his him being him basically like doing things like he's supposed to do as a man for as manly things, grooming, keeping himself up, taking care of home, um, keeping a job, a steady job, you know what I mean, car, you know what I'm saying, uh basically keep taking care like what he doing things like what he need to do when women notice things like that. You know what I'm saying? When you doing things and on your grown man shit and taking care of things like home, your bills, keep yourself up, your car, whatever you know what I mean, the men's supposed to do as a man, you know what I mean, women keeps they have their eye on it. They keeps their eye on it. You know what I mean? They pay attention. They be paying attention, taking care of your kids and shit like that. You know what I mean? Spending time being a family type man. You know what I mean? Women pays attention to shit like that. So I think that like that basically like qualifies you for a steady person like that. You know what I mean? Because they will be when they see things like that, they gonna come to you. You know what I mean? They'll definitely come to you. You know what I mean? They'll definitely start paying attention to you a little bit more than less than what a person originally pay attention to you. You know what I'm saying? So that I think that's what basically gets you to that next level.
100%. I also think I just was thinking about it. I think it's a certainty or confidence within himself, a sureness of self. Because I
Right.
think as kids, a little boy, we don't know ourselves yet. That's why we have to learn ourselves. And I think with being a man, it comes with a level of certainty of knowing self and understanding himself. so that he's not easily persuaded or easily knocked off his certainty and his confidence within. And I think that's where being able to be responsible, your ability to respond, comes in is based on your knowing and understanding of yourself.
Okay. Um, the next thing I got for y'all is what makes his what makes a man have his ability, like as a his what makes his confidence stand strong.
Can I go first?
Sure.
Oh yeah, all good.
I got nothing. I you.
Is that cut up there?
I ain't
Yes, it
never.
is.
These are my two co-hosts. Welcome to the live,
Is
Carl.
that
So
I
so
ain't
Carl?
never.
so
Yes,
let
Yeah.
Carl.
Dang, I ain't seen Carl in a minute. What up, Carl?
Welcome to the live. Well, since Carl entered the live, I'm gonna go back.
no, you ain't
Matt,
going nowhere.
no. I'm gonna go back. Matter of fact, hey Trinity, Trinity, can you play that for Carl so Carl know what we on?
Here. Time to get you guys to think yet again.
Niggas like to scream, I'm a real nigga. I'm real this, I'm a real that. Let me tell you something, man. That ain't easy to be, bro. That ain't easy to be. You care about people that you know ain't gonna care about you back. You go all out for people that's what being real is, man. That's what being real is. Sometimes you gotta take it on the chin as a real man. Sometimes you do stuff that you don't want to do. You gotta swallow your pride to be real. It ain't always easy being real. You carry everybody else's burden. Niggas want to scream, I'm a real this, I'm a real that, until it's time to be that. That's why you don't see too many real niggas. Everybody can't be real. Everybody can't be a real man. Everybody can't be solid. Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot caring about people that you know don't care about you like that. That ain't going to be the same way you are. That ain't going to put forth the same effort. But day in and day out to continue to do it. Not for them, for you. For you. Because that's who you are. That's who you are. So everybody with all that, I'm real, I'm nigga, you ain't ready to be real, nigga. You ain't ready to stand on certain principles, nigga. That's why y'all niggas fold under pressure. It ain't too many of us out here, nigga. We rare, for real, nigga.
So Carl, as he say, because he did switch it twice. I mean, real man, real nigga, or whatever. But as he say, what's your take on a real nigga or a real man, as he said?
If you're a qualified man, people are drawn to you. You don't have to go out there and prove to anybody that you're worthy, that you're qualified, or anything. People are drawn to you when you are qualified. When you're not qualified, that's when you got to go out there and do the legwork of convincing and proving and all of this validation and all of that. It doesn't have nothing to do with money. It has to do with you being qualified as an individual. People are attracted to that, and they will change themselves to get with you, to get near you, because they understand the value that you bring to them.
What's your take on that, Najee?
I agree. I think it goes back into the confidence and the certainty of self, to where
Yeah.
you don't have to be a certain way in order to um, get people to understand you and see you. You're just being yourself, and they see the value in you just by you being you, versus you feeling like you need the validation and you need to be a certain way in order for you to be accepted. And when
Hmm.
you're sure of yourself, you walk in a confidence, and most of the time that comes from a level of understanding and a level of internal security. And I think that's pretty much what Carl's saying. It's just you being you will set the standard, versus you feeling like you have to be a certain way as a way to receive the things that you want.
Yeah, both men and women do that. When they come across somebody they can't manipulate or they can't, not so much just manipulate, but when it's somebody I always say above their pay grade, they bounce because that requires them to work.
Hmm.
Most lazy people don't like to work. That's why there's so many single people running around. They don't want to earn nothing. They just want it presented and given and provided for them. It don't work like that. You got to earn that.
Trinity,
Huh?
what you think about what Carl said? Lord have
I'm
mercy.
thinking right now, this fish and chicken sandwich is banging. That's
Oh,
what I'm thinking right now.
Trinity, come back to the
no.
show, Trinity.
Trinity is working on her
Yo,
second meal
I
of the
tap.
day.
Listen. Carl. I don't know why these two fools are acting brand new. They knew I
Hey,
tapped
I
out
know.
before we
You
went live.
you see, I
Listen,
ain't saying nothing. I'm just like I said.
I
I
know,
I
appreciate
but
you
know you're
being
working
here.
on your second meal for the day, so I
I
understand.
I know, but I'm sure you heard what Carl said, Trinity.
You know I did because I'm nosy as hell. So here you go. Right. So I think that what, based on your question, Twan, I think this is what I heard you ask. What builds confidence in a man? That was the thing I tapped out on, right?
Hmm.
But as I was really thinking, three things came to mind: planning, execution, and success.
You missed two more before that.
Okay, you can add on. I'm ready.
First you got to learn, then earn, then you do the other three because you got to know
But
what
but
you're
but
getting
wait,
into.
time out. That doesn't make sense. Why would I learn and earn before I plan? Meaning that I would have to first know what I want to do so that I can learn and then earn.
Re, re, one of them you're correct on. You do have to learn. You want to go to college, right? You want to go to college. You want to get a specific degree. But first you have to learn in that classroom.
What?
You have
But what are you going to school for? Don't you have to plan for that first? Like,
Yeah, you
I
can
mean, I
plan.
went to
That's why I
college,
said
right? I'm
that's what
sorry. I'm just like maybe I'm a little biased
no, that's
because
that's
when I
one
went,
that's why I said one of them you have correct, the
right, but
planning
hold
part
on.
of it.
So here we go.
Yeah,
So I had to figure out what I wanted to do, hence a plan,
right,
right? And then
right,
I went to college so that I can learn.
right,
And then when I graduated and went into the workforce, I had to earn.
correct,
And in the end, I find success.
correct.
So I see what you're saying, but I think I'm missing one more. I got your two. I gave three, but I missed one. But I see your line of thinking. It wasn't
Uh-huh.
so much as the order in which it was said, but it was that there were two things that were missing from what
Right.
was said. Got
Be-
you.
the reason why is because I connect it the same way universally when it comes to college, work, fixing your car, or the same as a relationship. Before a man goes out and take on the responsibility of a woman, he must first learn what is it that he's getting into. And like you said, plan. Once he plans and learn and obtain what is necessary, now he can execute that. You can't expect a woman, as some of these dollar store dudes say, about 50-50, because in my mind, when I hear it, it's like you're transferring what you did with your mother over to a woman. And I'm asking guys that believe in 50-50, did you go 50-50 when you was living with your mother? So how you expect a woman to go 50-50 with you? You're blaming the woman for you not being prepared for that responsibility. You didn't.
What's your
You didn't. You
no, go
didn't.
ahead, go ahead. Go ahead,
Uh
finish.
huh.
No, go ahead, finish. Go ahead, finish. Sure.
I mean, as a man, I mean, before entertaining a woman, I came with life insurance. I came with the proper amount of finances in place and contingencies. That's another thing that black people don't talk about, the contingency part. You understand? Baby, if something happened, here's a plan B, here's a plan C. You come in with the protection. I know a lot of guys like to use that provide and protect, but it's kind of hard to protect when you can't even run 2 blocks without getting tired because your stomach is hanging over your dick or you're not healthy. You don't even see your doctor on a regular. So how are you protected? I could kick your ass. You understand? So there's a lot of things that dudes have to come with first before they entertain women. I'm encouraging women to hold their standards up higher, not entitlement, but higher, so it can force men to ascertain these things. So if women went around and said, I'm not sleeping with a man unless he has life insurance, dudes will be put on notice now. Let me go get some life insurance because that's the only way I'm going to get laid.
I think the caveat to that I would say is it has to be like I get it. I definitely get where you're coming from, but there has to be a standard in which the guy wants to achieve. Like if your goal is to, okay, I'm gonna get life insurance so I can have sex with her. After you have sex with her, you can stop paying your life insurance. Like it has to be something that he wants to do. It's not something that I want to do so I can get a woman. No, it's something I want to do for me. And I think that's where the disconnect is because a lot of times people are doing stuff for somebody else or trying to get a person to like them. So I'm gonna do this so that she can like me. But the thing is, if you're not doing it and you're not standing on what you want to do for you, then it's not going to be genuine to me. And I think that's where the disconnect is, especially in the relationship dynamic, because everybody knows what they want from another person, but they don't know who they have to be for themselves in order to receive the things that they want. So it's easy to be like, I want a man to be this way and I want a woman to be this way. But if you're never been in a position to even attract a woman whose caliber is of that or a man whose caliber is of that, who do you have to be in order to receive those type of people? You won't even be able to receive them because you're not accustomed to experiencing them. So I think that's where I get where you're coming from, but I think a lot more emphasis on self is the key versus it like I'm if women were to raise their standards, cool. If women was to raise their standards, by all means do that. But they're still not going to get the results that they want because if the man doesn't want to do the things that they want to raise their standards in, yeah, he's gonna play the position, he's gonna do what she wants until he gets what he wants, and then he's gonna deviate back to how he wants to be. And I think that's one of the things for me where it has to be something that he wants to do for himself versus only wanting to do that for the woman.
Well, in part, I agree with self. It always starts with self. But in the last 3 generations, we had plenty of practice, bruh. From the welfare system to Section 8. There's guidelines you have to meet. And you can't just put on a facade and think you're going to get it and then go back to doing whatever because they keep up with you. It's just like telling a lie, you got to keep up with that lie. You understand? So the incentive here is it forces men to have to change in order to accomplish whatever it is they're trying to get, but they have to maintain it. You can't just cut bait once you get what you want because part of the incentive is putting you in a position where you don't have a choice. It's sort of like a law being passed. If you sleep with a woman, it's a felony if you don't stay with her for a minimum of 10 years. That's an incentive like hell because there'd be a lot of dudes going to jail. If you make a baby with a woman, you must marry her. No ifs, ands, or buts once that DNA test is done.
So wait, what is the end goal with that? So I can understand because my
the
dad did
the
that
end
and
the
then
end goal, unfortunately, and this is why I said I come up with these little things because the end goal is actually utilizing other methods to force people to be responsible.
so you think enforcing people to be responsible, they'll be responsible.
If you know that you will go to jail for 10 years if you accidentally make this girl pregnant, would that make you have more dick discipline or less?
More.
Exactly. This is a force. It's not, we've had plenty of time to volunteer dick discipline. But what happens now when you put in an incentive, but you put a penalty in place where you're forced to now, you don't have a choice but to learn dick discipline because your liberty is at risk.
Or you just put on two condoms.
Man, we if I had $1 every time I heard it slipped or a hole was in it or whatever excuse we want to put in.
That's why I said two. You gotta put on two if it's like that. But I think I get where you're coming from. But the forcing aspect is just people aren't the biggest issue is people aren't qualified to no, they are qualified. So the people that they're attracting is on the same frequency as them. So it's a
Of
lot of
course.
times it's understanding that the people you attract is a reflection of where you're at. So the women that attract to certain guys, they are
Uh-huh.
attracted to those guys based on the qualities of those guys. So it resonates with them. So even there would be women like you can force that law, but then there'll be women sneaking and have sex. Like there's ways, especially when it's forced. Anytime something is forced, people will always resist doing it. That's why the jail system is the way it is, and people still do crime. Like it's one of those things where the more you kind of tell a person not to do it, the
The
more it
more they
almost
will.
incentive they will do it type of thing.
Right.
Like,
But when you up the ante on the repercussions of that, you understand what I'm saying? When you up the ante, I didn't see too many hard headed people running the streets during the pandemic. When they say everybody stay in the house, that's what they meant. You have to put incentive and penalty behind every scenario of repercussion because nobody's better at excuses but us black folks.
So basically, what you're saying is, if you don't put no percentage on it, they're not gonna follow. They're not gonna follow direction.
Of course not. We've had three, close to 4 generations of people building and transferring, do what you want to do, with no structure, with no repercussion. It's like, so what?
but they did. Well, I could be off, but there was if she's good enough to get her pregnant, she's good enough to get married. Um, Kind of scenario in society at one point in time. And I think the disconnect what we went away from is the fact that it was like that because a lot of times the people you have sex with aren't the people you want to be with like that. You don't know that. And that experience is like, yeah, I want to be with her. This is the one I want to be with.
Right.
But life happens. And then you start to see people aren't always the same. People
Mm-hmm.
change. So it's like, I get what you're saying, but what would be the end goal for this? The end goal is to make a family dynamic more like what would be the end goal in forcing guys?
The real end goal is
Mm-hmm.
doing something that we haven't done in 3 generations, if not four, since our grandparents. Forcing people to look in the mirror and take self inventory in real time and stop just doing things because, like you said, life happened. No. What did Trinity say? Plan, learn, earn. We forgot all of that and say, I can do it because I can. We don't follow. Remember, today's generation and mindsets don't follow the traditions of just because I can doesn't mean I should. They don't believe in that.
But
I
then,
think,
but if I
yeah,
may,
yeah, okay, you got it, Trent.
excuse me, if I may, um, because now that would work, Carl, if we were all focusing through the same level of consciousness. We're not.
Mm-hmm.
We're not all operating at the same level of consciousness to where we can even be self aware, to where we are not impulsive because safety and security is our prime motivator. You know, we have to accept and also include those who are unlike us. Because just because you make laws more intense, it doesn't mean the rules are going to be followed. The human nature is the nature of the spirit is to be free. We are free, unbounded. And just because we are merged with the human body, it doesn't take away from the nature of our beingness, which is free. Free to choose, free to decide, and free ourselves into a willing state. So, with that being said, right, um, the only law that I can think of that will keep families together is the law that was in place and has since been removed, which is if a woman leaves her husband and she has children, she have to also leave those children behind. The reason
That
why women are so quick to leave is because they value the children. They don't need the man in their life to have a children that will, for them, guarantee love. You see, women do not function and operate from the space of logic and sensibility. We
right.
focus and operate from the space of comfortability and familiarity, which will then require us to, well, have control. So if we cannot have control over a man, we can surely hell have control over the idea of who is going to love us unconditionally, and that will always be children. This is why women are willing to have children and don't even bother with the man. It's because she is seeking to be loved by someone who she can be her full self with, and she could do the bare minimum, which is support,
Oh, I
without
thought
thought of
I
words.
thought it was for financial gain.
No,
Yeah,
women
nah, I
don't.
ain't never. Yeah.
No, it's it's feeling loved. Those who want children without a man is fear is afraid of two things: rejection and abandonment. But men will never be able to relate to that because you
Right,
guys get rejected every freaking day.
right, right,
Most of you have been abandoned already by your dad. So for you, it's the norm. For us, it's detrimental. We
right.
need to be loved and men need to be respected. It's
I
just
don't.
the nature of the being.
And
I
on top
understand.
of that,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and on top of that, a lot of the times, like even where you're at today, you had to go through circumstances and situations to even get to this point. And I think a lot of times where we mess up as a society is we feel like we're here at this level and everybody should be at this level, not realizing you didn't always start off at that level. You had to go through the journey. So it's like you had to go through your own experiences. You had to learn your own lessons to get to this point. So to make it like a law that everybody has to go through this or everybody has to be this way, it's almost like your feelings will now set the standards for life. And I think that's where the disconnect is because we're not learning how to flow in this experience. We're almost trying to force it or trying to control it. And that's usually out of fear. You only want to control things because you're scared. So I think it's one of those things to help people understand versus trying to force them to understand. And I think when you do it that way, it creates more of a safety. So now they're allowed to just be themselves versus being forced to be a certain way, and they're more acceptable in doing it that way versus being
Well, this is why I always talked about things in a collective way, right? The
mm-hmm.
majority superseding the minority, and Trinity said something. I didn't want to lose it, but now I got it back. Have you noticed that black people, let's say in Harlem, they don't move into Williamsburg because they know Jewish people are there. You understand what I'm saying? You can't get a black person can't get an apartment in a Jewish neighborhood like that, a predominantly Jewish neighborhood. They won't allow it, and we know we can't do it. So this is what I'm saying about boundaries. We know boundaries. We could do what we want. Yes, freedom is there, but when there's a boundary in place that makes it very much not so much difficult, but damn near not possible. Come on,
but it has to
come
be a
on.
universal. But don't you think it has to be a universe? Like everybody has to agree on that in order for that to
Yeah,
be. Or,
yeah. Well, universally, I would say yes. If you make a woman pregnant, you must marry her within 90 days. No ifs, ands, or buts. DNA test must be had, and you must marry in 90 days, unless you're deceased.
But see that see it's kind of cringy to me, only
Yeah.
because it's above God's standards, right? God created everything, but yet God allowed us free will. For me, for a creation of God to be higher than God in terms of determining what happens with mankind, to me is kind of like I don't like the experience I feel looking at other people decide for themselves that are in contrast to my beliefs, standards, morals, and values. So instead, I want to impose and enforce rules upon the entire nation so that I can feel better in my human experience, as opposed to my suggestion, right? Which is to, if the woman leaves the husband, she has to leave her kids. She has a choice. She already made the choice to marry him. She already made the choice to be impregnated by him and have his and bear his seeds.
I
So
wouldn't I
hold
wouldn't
on,
agree
let
with
me
that
land.
because
It
she
doesn't
can.
matter. Let me land, please. I'm going to land shortly. So, with that being said, she can choose whether to walk away from her children or not. Men don't have that choice to walk away from their children or not when they are removed from the household that they live in with their mate, because the courts decided that she should keep the house and the kids, and he has to start all over again with less than half of how he started.
Like I said, I'm very familiar with when it comes to mindsets collectively. It would start worse because women would have no issue with leaving kids behind just so they can have their hot girl summer, hit the reset button,
You don't
and
know women, and
Wait,
I'm
I
yeah,
telling
I was about
you,
to
I'm
say,
I
they
telling
can
you,
time out.
I'm
I
telling you,
think
that's not a woman,
women
okay? A
women
woman leaves because she can leave with her children and get incentivized and get money. That's why
right.
women leave. Women, if women, let me tell you something, we bond with our babies at the moment we hear we are pregnant.
100%.
Men don't bond with their children most of the time until after their
Exactly.
child is born. So, with that being said, with nature taking its course and opinions and cognitive dissonances happening, it doesn't matter. It's the nature. The only reason why women did not leave back in the days was not because she was financially destituted or incapable of making money, because I never heard of any man curling hair in their goddamn kitchen for money. I never heard of men steaming dresses for money. I never heard any men making dollies and selling them for money. I never heard any men holding Tupperware parties for money. So this idea that women back then were just too damn stupid to make money is farce, and it's asinine, and it's dangerous to the black psyche. Okay? The reason why women never left back then was simply because she did not want to leave her goddamn children. And I don't understand why that's so hard to believe, because there are some unruly women today who values not family but money.
Because those women were back then put family first. These women don't put family first.
are
That's
you
what
saying are you saying the women today at this day and time do it don't
they
put
don't
family first?
they don't give a damn about these kids today, bro.
Wait, what? What?
Me
Wait, time out. Before, I'm just curious. What? Because people, these talking points, I get it, but what age are you guys talking about? Because I don't know a lot of women like
no
grown. We're talking about
I
grown
hear
adult
you.
women who like leave their kids to have the free. Like what? Like are y'all talking
No,
about
because
teenagers? Like what are y'all talking about?
I was about to say was I don't agree with that because on the fact is you got more guys doing it than females. Yeah, I
What is
mean
really
you
saying?
got females you got females more protective over their children, you know what I'm saying, more
Because
than
they're incentive to.
No, okay. Here's the thing, Carl. I want
But,
Yeah,
you
but
to
hold on
it's
for
a
a minute.
talking
listen.
point.
Hold
But
on,
what
listen.
Trinity
I
was
want you. I
saying,
want you. I want you to do a poll, Carl. And this is how I want you to word it. Don't add. Don't take away. Okay. Any live you go into where there's a woman, I want you to ask each woman how many of them If they were to get divorced, would they give custody of their children to that man?
Hell no.
It
Not to
doesn't
me.
matter. It doesn't matter what we think in this moment because it's really about what those individuals say. And I
I
want you
get.
to count how many
Uh,
women believe that a man is capable. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when I gave my daughter's our when I gave my daughter's father custody of our daughter,
uh,
I got so much heat, not from men. Every one of them was from women. How can you do that? He can't raise a child. He's not capable of raising a daughter without you. You're so selfish, and they didn't even ask me why. They just told me why. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they
no, I
cannot
get it.
fathom how a woman can just give up her child that she raised.
Uh,
It's not an abortion. It's not an immediate adoption. This is this is a part of one's reality. It's
they
no
didn't. They
different than
and
death. So
and I bet you.
women, I don't care how. And the reason why women are cool with the hot girl summers is because all they need is a goddamn babysitter for a night or for a week. But for that woman to give up full custody and never having no say, yeah, good luck with that belief. I'm going
But
to tell
but
you right now,
but I'm gonna
you're
tell
not.
you, they
Mm-mm,
all saw
mm-mm.
Boys in the Hood. They all.
Wait, I think, bro. I honestly, I think Carl
He's moving the
has talking.
goalpost. He's
Yeah,
really
he has
moving the
talking
goalpost.
points, and when you bring it, it's like it goes against his talking points. So he has to, because realistically, if you understand simple psychology and how women are developed and whatnot, most women by the age of 10 or 11 know they want to be a mom. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with having hot girl summer. They just been taught, instilled that being a mom is what they want. So to say if a woman doesn't have her kids, she gonna be out in the street. Like I don't know if he's talking about just the talking points in these podcasts. Because realistically, if you interact with women enough, you know if a woman she could be tired of her kids because really they just want a break because they have to do all this stuff by themselves. But if a woman be like I'm tired, I need a break, you give her a break from her kids and she will lose her mind trying to figure out where's my baby. I need my baby. I need because their children become their everything because it's their way of
Mm-hmm.
almost like abandoning themselves because it's bigger than me. Now it's about my kid. So for him to be like, yeah, hot girl, something, I don't, that's what I'm saying. I think he's talking about 15. I don't know what age group he's talking about, but we're talking grown women. I've never heard a grown woman be like, yeah, I'll just give up my kid so I can have a hot girl summer. Like, bro, I don't even, bro.
No, I'm not.
I,
I was using that. I was using that as one aspect, and just to get you to understand my point, which is not a talking point for no podcast or nothing. This is understanding also human behavior, observing people, and it's collective and it's majority. Let me tell you something, brother. If women gave a damn about their kids so damn much, I still ask the question why so many would spend 10, 20, even 30 years being fuckable instead of being keepable. Meaning, a male figure, especially if you got sons, would be very much more necessity, not a luxury, a necessity if you gave a fuck about your son. When men went to war and they got killed, that woman at home on the bay hurried up and replaced that husband with another man so her sons didn't have to be raised by her because she did not want to interfere with the rites of passage, the purpose and design that a man raises a boy to be a man. Just because you can don't mean you should.
yeah, I think you're missing. There's a lot more factors to that you're missing, and I think a lot of times when it comes to women in their relationship with men, it's due to hurt. So there's a lot of women who's hurt by the man that they once cared about deeply, and they're not trying to put themselves in position to be hurt again. And that's why they're clinging on to their children so much, because their children represents someone who's never going to hurt me. They'll always be by my side. They'll never leave me. They'll never abandon me. They'll never disregard me because I
Uh,
know once I have this kid, it's going to be my best friend. So I get what you're saying.
Is that and is that going to help the situation because you're trying to pacify your vulnerability issues, and so you're going to turn your son into your son husband?
No, I'm not talking about pacifying. I'm just talking about what you're saying in regards to
But that's
how.
what it sounds like. The woman, instead of as some people would say, put your big girl panties on and start over, hit the reset button. You are going to sit there and wallow in vulnerability issues. You're going to sit there and wallow and keep referring to, this is why I want to have my cake and eat it too. I don't want a commitment. I don't want marriage. I don't want a relationship. I just want to borrow somebody's son from time to time, but I want to do everything by myself.
I'm trying to understand because what is that? So what's your ultimate end goal? Is the family nuclear? Like what is your end goal? And like what are you trying to
My
accomplish?
my whole goal here is establishing that we can come up with every excuse on every scenario. It is not logically and it's not purpose and design to have this many divorces, baby mamas, baby daddies, and single people running around like it's a badge of honor.
Okay, I get
Because
that,
we didn't
but
come
why?
from that.
Have you ever took the time to ask why is it that way?
The whys are
No. I'm
getting,
talking about from like action women, not
yes,
just
yes.
the why. Okay,
And
just want to make sure.
most of the whys translate into excuses than experiences or trauma. Believe it or not.
Can you give me an example? Because I'm sure I can show you where the
Well,
trauma is.
I've always said that and with these multiple conversations with so many women and just listening and observation, it's easy to point the finger at somebody else, but you don't want to look at what contribution you made for the outcome. Okay, a lot of these women know damn well that they wasn't taught to be a wife. So why did you get into a game of playing wifey? Like I said, you allow a man to live with you, move in with you. Strike one. Strike two, you decided to deal with potential. You decide to help this dude get his CDL or get his GED or whatever the case may be. You decided to play the same role his mother played instead of learning how to shop better than that.
No, I'm still. I said the why. You haven't really told me.
That was the why. That is the why. A
The
lot
why
of it
you decided to help him
the,
get a
a lot of
CDL. You
it was
decided to move him in.
projection. A lot of the whys that I got from these females, and I still hear it right now when I go on different lives and I'm just listening. A lot of them were excuses because they didn't want to take responsibility or accountability on what role they played in the outcome.
Oh, okay, so what you're misunderstanding is they were doing the best they could within the level of their awareness. It's almost like me asking you, have you ever made a mistake in life? Like the first woman you had sex with, did you marry her and stay with? Like it's one of those things where it's like understanding that there's human beings that we're talking about. It's not just one size fit all. So every scenario is going to be different. So a lot of times the women weren't going into this relationship thinking, okay, let me just have sex with him and let me just do. No, they wanted to experience being a wife. They wanted to experience all. They just didn't know how to go about doing it. Like you said, they weren't taught this way. So to make them wrong for the way they wasn't taught is almost like it don't make sense to me because people can't be held responsible for stuff they don't know. So if they were never taught to be a wife, they're doing the best they can within the level of their awareness to put themselves in position to be a wife. And then there's like people making them wrong for doing it that way. When it's like, what way are they supposed to do it? Okay, get married. There's still guys who divorce. There's still guys who cheat. There's still guys who beat women. Being a husband don't change the fact that you're still an individual in yourself. That husband is just the title that you place on a person.
That
So
that
being a wife doesn't change your characteristics. It's not like, okay, once I become a wife or once I become a husband, now I'm gonna be like, no, it don't work that way. But it again, it sounds great for the talking points, but realistic, we're talking about human beings here. It's not one size fits all. Everybody's situation is different. There's a lot of trauma there, and that's the reason why they're desiring the things that they're desiring because they're really just trying to avoid from being hurt. But the hurt that they're trying to avoid from experiencing is the reason why they create this fantasy idea of potential. That's where the imagination, the fantasy comes in, is due to the amount of hurt that they're trying to avoid from experiencing.
and the fantasy took over because an individual decided to throw away the fundamentals of what they was taught when they was in kindergarten, like interdependency skills. Very, very essential for a relationship. We was taught that in kindergarten, how to get along and work well with others for a common goal. Somewhere along the line, you decide you don't want to do that, or you pick and choose when you want to utilize that.
Okay, I got a question for you. Do you, for you, period, do you feel like people get into relationships to do what's best for them or do what's best for the other person?
You loaded question. People get in a relationship for what's best for themselves or best for the other person. Do they have children?
Wait, you said, so you saying people get into relationships to do what's best for themselves and to do what's best for the other person?
Well, if you're a woman and you already have children and you decide to get in a relationship, it's not about just you. It's about them children too.
Yeah, but I didn't add children.
Oh, well,
No, I
that's
was
why I
just
said it
asking
was a
just
loaded question. I want to
no,
make
no, no.
sure
You added more to it to make it loaded. It was a simple question. Do people get into a relationship to do what's best for themselves or to do what's best for other people?
it can't be what's best for yourself.
So so you're saying you don't get into a relationship to do what's best for yourself. You get into a relationship. You as a person get into a relationship to do what's best for the other person.
It's not even what's best for the other person either.
Okay, I'm just, I
Because
don't
how do
know
you
if you're
know
trying to be
what's
funny or
best?
not.
What how do you know the best for the outcome when you haven't experienced it yet?
I never said anything about the outcome. I said, do people get in relationships? Do they get into relationships to do it? You're adding extra. You're talking about, do they have kids? Do they have the out? I'm not talking about that. I'm literally just asking a simple question. Do people get in relationships to do what's best for themselves or to do what's best for the other person? That's all I'm asking.
I would say neither or.
Okay, I
Especially
understand.
What's
especially at this current climate. I strongly see that people get together for the matter of convenience.
Is it convenient for them or is it convenient for the? That's what like
It's
you're.
convenient on both sides because it's transactional today.
I understand.
what's your take,
Remember,
Trinity?
love is conditional or unconditional. Well, if you don't do X, Y, Z, I'm not even gonna let you come to my house.
Then that's not love.
Well, see, this is why I said loaded question.
Well, you added actually. Everything people do is for self. So I'm trying to understand how did you get the like it's convenience. If it wasn't convenient for you, you wouldn't do it. So I'm kind of lost, but I get like it's one of those
I
things where it's
understand
just
what you're saying.
I,
A man, a woman could get into a relationship with a dude, right, to better herself or to, for her self benefit. But if there's nothing in it for him, there's not going to be no relationship, and the same vice versa.
but that's so that you did answer my question. So they do it for themselves, but you just made that a lot more extra
They
than what it happened. You just
well,
said if a man is not benefiting from the relationship, he's not going to be in it. So that means if he's not benefiting from the relationship, is not doing what's best for him. That's why he's not doing it. Correct, or am I missing something?
you're missing the part that a lot of times, especially with marriages, right, which is different than when you're living with
Bro, this
somebody.
this is where we're going into the talking points. This is what I mean with
Hold on,
we're
hold
not
on,
talking. I never said anything
because
about marriages. You're
you're
adding
mixing
extra. You keep adding
you're
extra, and
mixing
you
one
adding more.
paintbrush with as a all as one all. It can't be because your mindset when you got a girlfriend, she lives there, you live here, is not the same as if you lived with each other, and it's not the same as if you was legally
What
married with each other.
what is that? That has nothing to do with my. We're talking about the beginning. I'm literally saying, do people get into relationships to do what's best for them? And you're talking about, well, at the end, then once they get married, then if they have, I never said anything about none of that. I was just asking a simple question: do you get into a relationship to do what's best for you, or to do what's best for the other person? That's all I'm asking. 100%. You get
I
into a relationship to do what's best for you.
I understand your question very clearly, and
What's
I'm
your
Okay.
take on it,
and
Trinity?
and interdependency. If I get in a relationship with a woman, it's not just about what benefits me. It's also what benefit us.
But you have to be in a relationship first to do that.
If I may,
Yes, go ahead.
a lot of times when these discussions are held, I'm noticing that people are speaking not from the space of the questions that was asked, but from the space of what's most comfortable to answer, right? You
Huh?
can't talk about what goes on in a relationship if no relationship is had. First, there has to be a prior to the relationship where you have to put yourself in position to be noticed. And then there's a process of a period of time where you go by unnoticed. And then you get noticed. See, that's where you come in, Carl. It's like now, no, you didn't even come in yet. We're still with Najee, right? So Najee's like, you got to get noticed, and then you got to do whatever Najee said was talking about, because I'm kind of like done, right? But Carl, you're speaking from the space of I'm already in the relationship. You're jumping the gun. You're in a space that doesn't fit. The thing is, what does one need to do or be or have prior to being in the relationship in order to have someone desire them for a relationship to begin with? It's about,
Interdependency.
well, I don't even know. So, Najee, what was the question?
Do you get into a relationship to do what's best for you or to do what's best for the other person? That's all I was asking.
Both.
Okay, so
Okay.
for me to answer that, I would have to say that I kind of, I'm kind of have to take the call route on this, in that doing what's best for my husband is also doing what's best for me. And then I'm gonna have to go with you, Najee, right? Because now I have to move further back and say, because I care about my feelings. So I'm moving from my feelings. So it is my feeling good, right? The idea that I'm gonna do this allows me to feel good. And that's even before I do it. So the reason why I'm doing it is so that I can feel good, if that makes sense.
100%. That's
Uh,
all I'm saying. So
I,
it's
I,
you doing it. You're doing it to feel good. So does your husband feel you feeling good? No, it's you're doing that for you. That's all I was saying. It's one of
I
those
would have
things
went
where
that
You
way.
know,
I would have went that way too, Trinity. But I was just basically trying to get like a better understanding from what Carl was saying. And
I guess because
uh,
before I enter into a relationship, I already have a mindset of interdependency. So prior to meeting that woman or getting that woman or sleeping with that woman, interdependency is my mindset from before, during, and after. So that's why I said it stops being about you and becomes about us, we, and our.
I think I should listen to what James said. You think I should listen
Trinity,
Once
you
that
heard him.
Trying to. Are you? I
Huh?
don't know if he's.
You heard him. You
No,
once
what
once
happened?
once that woman decides, okay, you know what, we're gonna go out. Yes, we're gonna sleep with each other. Yes, we're gonna spend more time. It's not about what I feel. It's about what we, us, our. Those words have to come into your
No, that's
mindset.
wait. Can I ask you a
But
question?
that's before.
Wait, hold on, Najee. Can I ask you a question? Carl, why do most women say they leave their man? Because they are not what? Happy.
But
You
that's a
see, they leave
selfish
their man.
mindset.
That see now you put that. That's who cares. Not all cats are born with three legs. So let's keep on track, right? The whole thing about it is that women leave because they are not happy. He didn't make me happy. I had to find my happiness. Women are motivated by their freaking feelings.
I get that. They
But the
lack
thing
No,
is,
you don't.
guys are too though. That's the
No, no, no.
guys
But
are
hold on,
yeah,
though.
both
But no, no, no.
ways.
But hold on. No, no, no. Men get into their feelings. Women are governed by our feelings.
right. Everything is I feel and I think. Where men
no.
are
I feel
more
it.
I know.
No, women are I feel, I feel, I feel. Men, you'll get some I feel, or you get some that thinks. Because men tap in and out of the feminine energy, the feeling state. Where women, we rest in our feeling state and tap into our masculine state.
Okay. I,
It's like feeling. I think
Yin and
it's
yang.
it's the same. Yes, it's the fit. The feminine is representation of the body. That's where the feelings. That's where you feel is in your body.
right.
The masculine is the mind. Your
The
mind can't
mental.
feel, so it's the thinking. So God, we're all human beings, energetic beings. We all feel, It's just the ways in which we were taught to express is like I think is the same as saying I feel. It's just the ways you're expressing it. It's
When we,
no
but let
difference.
me
Just
ask
like
you
women
something.
say, guys, like I want respect, and women say I want. It's the same thing. You want to be accepted. That's it. You want love. It's the
I,
same
I
thing.
I get it, but what I'm asking is this: men is logical. Women are more, like she said, governed by emotion, feel and think.
No, 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 no,
By
no.
No,
Not
no,
emotions.
emotional.
Not
Yeah,
emotions. That's
yeah.
different. Emotions are psychological.
well,
Feelings is energetic.
The
No, no,
bodily
there has to be
sensations.
a
Yeah.
there has to be a distinguishment between the two. Feelings is the sensation. The emotions are brought up by the accompanying thoughts that comes with the
okay,
sensation.
I got
You
you.
understand what I'm
I
saying?
got you. I
Energy,
got you.
emotion. So feeling is how we
Yes.
feel. Do we feel safe? Do we feel secure?
Uns-
It's not do
yes.
we feel happy. No, it's not that if we are happy or if we are sad. The R
Yes.
is emotion. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So even with the logic, bro, logic just means to think. So women have their way of thinking, and men have their way of thinking.
Processing.
Guys, guys
Processing the
aren't more
world.
yeah.
Right.
Guys aren't more logical, and women aren't more emotional. We
But
do
but
the same. Literally, we do the same thing. We just do it differently. It's
Opposite.
this. It's this, but it's yeah, it's opposite, but it's still the
Opposite.
same.
Yeah.
It's still the same, but it's like where they try to make women this way and men this, and it's like no, babies cry. It's not only female babies cry this way and on male. No, they all cry. We're all energetic beings. I think the separation comes because we don't understand that. And there's a disconnect because we think women are supposed to be this way and guys are supposed to be this way, not realizing, no, we're all doing the best we can within the level of our own awareness. And that's where it's the issue or the disconnect is because we don't see that. We don't
do you
understand
think
that.
people? Do you think men and female on a very large mass scale and a general scale? Do you think they actually understand, taught interdependency?
Interdependent. What is self-dependency? What is interdependency?
Oh Lord. See,
I don't know what
that's why I went
interdependency.
over it and I kept repeating it. I thought you know what it was.
No, I don't know
Inter
what it is.
interdependency is what I was saying, that when
In
you
kindergarten, we're
move,
taught.
when you
Mm-hmm.
think, when you make decisions, you don't use I, you use we, us, ours.
But yeah, that went because yeah, that's
We,
once you get in a relationship. I thought not when you buy it. Okay, maybe I'm confused.
no, not it's a preparation of already being instilled with you, learning it, understanding it, respecting it before you even get in a relationship. So this way, once you get in one, you can now exercise it.
Yeah,
Interdepend.
yeah. So if I may, Carl.
Hmm.
So Najee, right? Here's the thing. Interdependency is just it's like you got dependency, you have interdependent, and you have codependent. That's where the interdependent fits in.
Right.
So it's not something that you know you become after the relationship. It's just your approach to the relationship.
To the relationship.
Right. Your
Yeah.
mindset, because most women are independent right now, right? But once a guy says hello, let me take you out and start getting more familiar with each other, now it ain't just her being independent no more. Now she has to exert the interdependency, dependent on each other for this to succeed.
Is that
We,
what qualifies him to be in her life?
For her, yeah. But here's the caveat though, Carl.
mm,
What you said, right, is not interdependency that she builds when the guy, you know, she meets the guy, likes the guy, and the guy takes her out and stuff. She becomes codependent upon him. Interdependency looks like, we're doing this together, right? So I came into my relationship. I came into the idea of having a relationship with an interdependent mindset and attitude. You
right.
know what I mean? So
Right.
I didn't need him to be or do or say or have anything because he didn't even have a face yet.
Right.
Yeah.
But you like we y'all was saying earlier before I came in. It was about making during the shopping stage, as I call it, making sure both parties are qualified for it.
No, no, no,
Right.
no, 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 no. The thing was, what qualifies a man? Like, what deems a man a man? It had nothing to do with a woman. The woman was not a part of the discussion as like something to be spotlighted.
Right.
It was in terms of like his manhood was, at that part that you're speaking of was in terms of women, but there was also about sacrifice. It was also about discipline. It was like there were so many factors,
Right.
but
Right.
the focus wasn't on that man and a woman, if that makes sense.
No, I definitely
Okay.
got you. What I'm going to the question is, once the male is qualified for the responsibility of a woman, now he can entertain a woman, right? And that woman doing her diligence, her homework, her research, her observation. This is a guy that I can elect to lead me. Now she's coming with that interdependency, meaning the guy that she, like you said, don't have a face yet, but I know when I do get him, it's not about just me. It's us. It's we. It's
But that's
ours.
the thing. It's not about women. It's about the man. What
No, it's vice
qualifies
versa.
him?
It's both sides. It's not just
No,
one
not in
side.
this top. No, it's not. In this live, it's just one way.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah, there is no vice
the
versa.
part of the male being qualified is also
Mm-mm.
having interdependency
Broadcast.
skills.
My bad, host. Broadcast, not live.
No, 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 no. My bad. My bad. I was talking to someone. My bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, let me find that I was projecting. Oh well.
No, you good. You
I did
good.
it. I did it. Oops, I did it again.
I'm not messing with you. I get it though. I get what y'all was getting at, and I understand the way you translate it as well. And the reason why I'm so strict on that is because I don't hear interdependency mentioned in all mostly all the lives I've been on, all the future. I don't hear it being talked about,
All right,
and
so here
it's
we go, Carl. Just for you, not so the next show we have is gonna be on dependency, codependency, and interdependency in relationships. Just for you.
I like
I'm
Yeah?
that because I want to
listen.
go
I
into that.
appreciate it. I
Because I
just see
like
a
that
lot of
topic.
people flexing being independent, and I also see people getting stuck there. Then I also see people using being independent as a comfort zone when things don't work interdependent wise. When they don't feel like you said, when they don't get their way, when they don't feel happy, when things ain't going the way they want it to go, they rush back to being independent as a comfort zone.
And I think that's where I was stemming from when I was asking the question, because a lot of times people aren't coming in from the place of doing what's best for the other person. It's more so, what can I get out of this experience? And that's
Uh-huh.
why the disconnect is because people aren't coming from a place of, like you said, interdependence, where it's a we thing. It's a more of the transactional thing, where it's what can I get from this, and what
Right.
can they give me. Everybody knows what they want from another person, but they don't know who they have to be in order to receive that from another person, because it's not coming from the mindset of, okay, it's a we thing. It's more so coming from the mindset of you and I. We're going at. That's why when people get into it in relationships, they really
Hey,
be trying
get
to
you.
hurt each other. And it's like, bro, damn, y'all was just together. Y'all loved each other. Why
Right.
y'all going in? Because
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you become my enemy. We're going against each other. Now I'm trying to hurt you more than you hurt me, and that's where the disconnect is.
I don't see people earning, and I see that's like a curse word as well, because if you're not qualified for the person and you're not even making more than just bare minimum to earn them, I don't see how it's gonna work anyway. It's gonna always be disconnect because you got to have those elements. You have to have the interdependency. You have to learn. You have to earn.
Twan, you got anything? You ain't really been saying nothing. Twan been quiet.
I've been letting y'all go at it because I did just say something, but y'all was going back and forth and stuff like that. So I was letting y'all get y'all little things. I was trying to get a better understanding where Carl was coming from too. So
Okay.
I did comment, but y'all was going back and forth.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Would it
But
be would it be safe to ask that a lot of people, I don't, like you said something about they don't know, when there is plenty ways for people to find out. That's why I look at things as either you are trying to get the information needed to learn something and do better, or you're just making excuses because you don't want to put in the work.
I think it's easier to blame than it is to look at yourself in the mirror, because blaming almost makes the other person responsible. And most people like to be victims to their own emotions. They like to point the
Right,
finger and not realizing you point the finger at one person, three fingers are pointing back at you because it's all about you. You chose this person.
right.
You decided to do, like, it's all the role that you playing in this dynamic is just as important as the role that that person is playing as well. But it's easier again to look out when a person's in pain. They're not looking within and realize, why am I hurting myself? They're looking at, oh, you caused me pain, so therefore it's you, and them doing that, it creates again more of a disconnect because they're not seeing what role did I play, what signs did I choose to ignore to be with this person, what idea of who did I thought this person would be to make me want to continuously put myself in that position. And
Right,
that's where the potential is. The potential is a limitation that you try to place on a person based on how limited you feel within yourself. Most
correct.
people don't get that, so they fall in love with the idea of potential, not realizing it's not a real thing. Just because you feel like a person's potential could be that doesn't mean that's what they're going to be.
So
But
that's the similarity as a chick saying that he's a broke ass because he doesn't want to spend his money on you. It's not that he don't have it. He just don't feel that you're worthy for him to do it.
exactly, and it's safer to make him wrong than it is to hold yourself accountable and realize you only want him to spend money because you don't have that money. So you, the
Right.
person you're projecting, is really you talking about how broke you are. That's the reason why you want him to spend money. If you had your own money, would you want him to spend your money on you? No, because I got my own. Like, people don't realize we never look for what we have within ourselves and want another person to bring that to us. We only want another person to bring something to us that we feel like we're lacking within, and it
I
goes with
I
relationships.
I did post something to that. I said that it's funny how men have to be financially stable for a broke person.
100%.
That's crazy.
100%. But that's again, it's the society in which people really don't actually take the time to understand themselves and really realize, like, okay, what role did I play in wanting this, and why did I even want this? Why do I want a man to be this way? Why do I want a woman to be this way? It
Mhm.
all stems from some type of hurt. And the best way we learn to cope with the hurt is by trying to do something as a way to escape. People are using relationships and being in a relationship as a way to escape from being with the hurt little girl or hurt little boy inside of ourselves. And what we
Mhm.
do is we always make the other person responsible for it. You should change your behavior because I feel some type of way inside of my body. I don't like how I feel, so you need to change your behavior. So now everybody's wanting another person to be everything that they're not showing up and being for themselves, and then they make the other person wrong for it. The moment you learn to be a safe space, the moment you learn to accept yourself, the moment you learn to spend all the money you want on women or on yourself instead of spending it on women, your relationship to yourself will change, and therefore you will attract differently. Most people are attracting who the people they're attracting because of who they are within themselves. Men lie, women lie, but energy don't lie at all, and that's what people don't get.
That yeah. I usually say mindset patterns and outcomes is our best teacher because if if I see that your mindset has been this way for a period of time and your patterns have been just like this, your outcomes turn out like this, that's like telling me if you're worth investing in or not. You know, that's just something I utilize. Mindset, pattern, outcome. I just can't find no better way to decipher anymore but that.
If I may,
100%. Yes, ma'am.
you know what I find beautiful about just watching the two of you guys exchange between one another is
Mhm.
that I'm able to witness that You both are saying the same things, but each of you are speaking from different realms. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah. So it's like, let's agree to disagree. I mean, let's agree to agree, type thing, because we're both saying the same thing. Where Naji is speaking from energy, you are speaking from density,
Mm.
right? And you are operating and functioning from and through and in the human experience, where Naji is speaking and focusing from the ether. So that's why for Naji, everything is universal. And for you, everything is about individual order. So where Naji is with the collective, right? Like gravity, you are like the law of the land. That's so interesting. Keep going.
Can y'all? Is it an echo? Cause I have you. My phone's about to die. So is it echoing?
N- Not
Not,
yet. But
no.
Tuan, what do you got on everything you've heard so far? Cause we about to wrap this up. I'm done. It's 2 hours.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I already threw my input on it. I mean, I agree with both of them. You know what I'm saying? They both had good points on on the situation. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I was trying to get a better understanding of what Carl was saying and where he was going at with it. But now that when you had cut in and got and kind of broke it down and got a little bit, and then when Carl broke
She's
it
always
down,
my translator.
and then Carl broke it down, it was, I mean, it was better, like, understood where he was going at with and where he was at with it. So I understand what both of them were saying.
I'm always misunderstood. I still need a translator wherever I go.
No, I definitely get it, and I appreciate Carl from coming because it makes I enjoy these type of conversations, especially when damn, who was that? Especially when um he knows what he's saying. Like he has a solid foundation on what he's speaking on. A lot of times, people on the internet and stuff, they don't have a solid foundation on what they're speaking on. They're just regurgitating what they heard somebody else say. So I definitely appreciate him for doing that. And it was just one of those things for me where I'm always like, hold on, it can't be men and women. We all feel we all are in the same position. Just like I'm looking to get what's most beneficial for me, you're doing the same thing. But how can we come together to where we both are benefiting mutually versus it having to be like a me versus you type of thing? And I think
Mm.
that's where it's a big misunderstanding because everybody's going in with the mindset of me, not realizing if you're going to relate and connect to another person, it has to be a we thing, not a you thing.
That's
Right.
why I don't believe there's a.
Interdependency. Yeah,
Yeah,
we coming
that's why I don't
together.
believe there's a division between men and women. I and I'm gonna get in trouble for it regardless. I really think there is really a lot of dumb motherfuckers, really uneducated motherfuckers. Because a lot of things that I hear on social media, a lot of people don't know the definition of the words that's coming out their mouth, or they fail to make distinctions between certain things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like listening to a teenager. That teenager that keeps saying, I know, I know, I know. And then when you say, okay, well, if you know, then break this down, they'll be like, but why do I need to do that? And then it starts going into excuses. Come on, just say you don't know.
Basically, don't say.
100%.
Basically, just don't say that. Don't say something you don't know the meaning of it. Basically,
Right.
don't use words you don't know the meaning to it.
But that be the thing, bro. I agree with you 100% because people be saying, I'm like, bro, what does that even mean? You're using that word out of context. But it's talking points. If people are saying stuff and nobody's there to correct them or to ask them, and they're just agreeing, yeah, that you right. It's like, bro, no, he's not right. But you have to have a level of understanding. You have to have a level of awareness to even know where they're making a mistake because in today's society, like most people like you said, they're not the smartest and they don't take the time to learn. You have to take the time to learn, to research, to understand these things before you get on these podcasts or
How it
before you get on
applies.
shows. Most people, they're not doing it. They're feeling some type of way. They look on their phone and start talking. And if a person resonates with what that person is saying based on
Mm.
how they feel, they're going to think what they're saying is truth. And it's a lot of times it's not because they're using the wrong words and they're using them very inaccurately. And it's like, come on now.
Real quick, Zaji. Your take, distinction, submissive versus cooperative or cooperation.
So I think the biggest thing with submission is understand submission means to come under. It's not a dictatorship. It's the choice. The person who's submitting is choosing to submit because they're looking to learn. If there's an area in which you're more qualified than me and you have a deeper understanding, then I'm going to submit to you because I want to learn from you. Most of the time, we're trying to get a woman or get women and get guys to cooperate when they don't want to cooperate. So now you're trying to force them to do it. If a person wants to cooperate, they will. If a woman wants, bro, I don't even believe in relationships. And most of the women I talk to, they believe in relationships. But they know that I can teach them something. So they're willing to submit to whatever I can teach them versus
But
having this thing to where they feel like I'm forcing them to do it. And I think a lot of times, most of these dudes who talk about submission don't understand in order for a woman to submit, you must know something that she can learn from. You're not going to
okay,
submit to a person that you feel like can't teach you anything.
but this is what I need you to home in on for a minute. Which one has input and which one doesn't?
Which one has input in what way? Like, what you mean?
Well, if I'm sitting here telling a woman that she must be submissive as opposed
Hmm.
to cooperative, okay, I've always taught that cooperative allows a person to have input
All right. So here's the thing, right?
and submissive doesn't.
All right. So this topic of submission will always go awry because there's no substance and no foundation. When people want to bring in the Bible in terms of submission, they always seem to conveniently leave out the other part, which says, husbands, submit to your wives.
Right.
So it's a mutual submission in that you are mutually learning from each other. You are mutually cooperating with each other. You are mutual. It's a mutual thing. And if more people would inject that there's a submission that comes with men, where he has to love the woman in the way she needs to be loved, and where he's going to delegate to the woman according to her strengths. He's going to care for his woman in the way that she needs. Oh, how different our conversations would be in terms of man, woman, and submission. Hell, people are freaking rally for that damn thing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
There's no sense of tyranny, no, what is that? Authoritiveness. None of that. We need to address the topic appropriately, fully, in its entire wholeness for it to have any value, effectiveness, or use.
Hmm.
We can't continue talking about it incorrectly and expect change. That's insanity. Don't believe
Right.
me? Look up Albert Einstein. They made a whole quote about it behind that ass.
Doing the
Hmm.
same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Everybody submits. My husband submits to me, and I submit to
Thank,
my husband. And
thank.
this is why I am so freaking happy in our union. I don't even need the goddamn title. I just need his presence.
Exact. Thank
Well,
you. Because
I'm sorry.
What?
does your
Wait, wait,
does your
wait, wait.
husband?
Let that marinate, Carl. Just let that marinate, Carl. What you were gonna
I
say
was
now?
I was gonna say, does your husband like you have to submit? No, it's you choose to
I
do
mean,
that based
sometimes
on.
you know
No, but
when
it's
sometimes when he drunk, and I'm drunk and I won't remember in the morning. But I got a secret recording because I want to see how stupid I look. I'll be cackling like, "You go submit," and I'd be like, okay, baby." No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
but
Go
it was a choice.
ahead.
It was
I
the choice. I think a lot of times with the cooperation, it's not a co-op because the guy feels like you because I say you need to do it, you need to do it, and that's where the resistance is because there's no choice. Women want to choose. I don't never tell a woman you need to submit to me or do it. No, be yourself. The submission comes from her ability to understand that she can learn from me. I submit to women too because I don't know everything. You can teach me stuff about me that I was unaware of. So I'm gonna submit to you as a way to learn. The student submits to the teacher. The teacher also submits to the students because in order for the teacher to teach the students, she has to listen. In order for the guys to want to submit, want the woman to submit, they have to listen to the women. Most of the time, guys are not trying to listen to the women because they feel like the woman needs to listen to them.
Right. And this is what it
Mm.
looks like in real life, right, Carl? So I love the bathroom when I got to take a shower and when I got to look in the mirror to make sure I look cute, right? Because I ain't trying to look pretty. All right, I'm damn near 50. I'll leave pretty for other people. I'm just trying to look cute. This, at this point. However,
Really?
I hate cleaning the bathroom. No, 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 that's not the right. I loathe cleaning the bathroom, but I love a clean bathroom. Now, in terms of the kitchen, I'll do dishes all day because that gives me a time to go into my imagination where magically delicious stuff happen and I can zone out and tune out and I can feel some warm, sudsy water on my. It's a whole beautiful experience. So this is what that delegation will look like. Babe, yo, you know what? Let's get this place straightened up. Like, you hit up the kitchen, I do the bathroom. That's it. He hates doing dishes. I don't mind doing dishes. I loathe cleaning the bathroom. He's I doing the bathroom. You see how that works? We're both utilizing our strengths to keep
Hmm.
the household going.
That's what interdependency is,
There
and
you go.
the reason why I love using cooperative because it has that less sting to it, but it promotes the whole interdependency thing because submissive, since I'm dealing with people that don't really know the distinction and don't even know the definition, I have to talk to them the way I would do a 12 or 15-year old.
Damn,
So
you giving
that's
them a lot of credit. You being
I,
nice.
I'm
You got to talk to
I,
them like a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old.
I'm learning grace over time because my no nonsense, tough love, um, no excuses. Everybody cannot relate to that. No one, or swallow that. So it's like coming a different way and breaking it down. Cooperation. Can I get them to understand what cooperation is? Of course, because that's easier. It's less stingy. But eventually, it's going to come down to being submissive to each other anyway. But how can I get them, or a man, especially an egotistical man, how do I get people to learn to get to that level of being submissive to a person?
Make it sexy.
Oh
Okay.
Lord,
You said no, wait, hold on.
I'm not messing
Oh,
with
no,
you.
I'm
I'm a
dead
man.
serious.
I'm
No,
not
I'm
gonna make
dead
something
serious.
sexy
No, no,
for
no,
another
no,
man.
no, no, no. Listen to what I'm saying before you reject what you have not yet heard. Okay? Okay. So, you said we need to appeal to a man's ego. So, how do we appeal to a man's ego in terms of submission, right?
Uh-huh.
But what does the man ego demand? I want something. The man's ego is going to motivate him to do that thing so that he can have that something. What does that man want? Submission. He wants he truly wants a good life, a life where he can be with a woman who is going to not complete him, right? But to
Uh-huh.
also bring her wholeness to him, accept him as he is, how he is. There are women out there that likes egotistical dudes. Trust me, I used to be that way because they were a challenge,
Uh-huh. I
but I
know
learned.
women that love when I choke them.
So there you go. So I mean, yeah, there's that. Um, yeah, I'm so stuck right now. I, I need last Wednesday mind to work tonight, man. I wasn't ready.
Oops.
Man, Najee, man, take it away. I'm done. I can't.
No,
I
it's
can't.
I
I'm
Finally,
just
know,
I
and I
can't.
can't. When they said that, I was laughing. I'm like, what?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm
Now,
saying I'm sure you get that phone call. Chef, what you doing, nothing? Can you just come over? Yeah, I know you just want me to come over there and choke you. All right, I
I
get it.
okay. Now I guess that concludes the show because these folks over here talking crazy. So
I forgot. I should have said She likes to be choked with a blunt in her hand, right? I got you.
But
That'll be okay.
we had a good show tonight. This was a good topic, and
I appreciate it. I wish I was there at the beginning.
we we enjoyed you coming up, call for the show tonight, and we enjoyed your input. We definitely enjoyed
For
the
sure.
show. I hope you tune in to next week. I'm Twan. You can reach me on
Hold on,
Instagram.
Twan. Hold on, babe. Before you do that, if I may,
Go ahead.
so Carl, if you don't mind sharing with us your experience overall, with the topic, the interaction, like just like, what was it like for you to be up here for the first time?
Just like being in my living room with three guys.
Oh, you
What's up?
felt at home. That's nice.
That's all.
You felt at home. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you find the interaction with like with ease? Like free flowing, like you will come back next week type
Well,
thing.
let's put it this way. It's a whole lot better than Instagram Live.
Hmm. There we go. He's nipped it up in the bud right there. He ain't got to say no more.
Tuan, you
Uh,
want to close it? I'm sorry,
Yes,
Naji.
ma'am.
It's
Hold
good.
on,
Mature.
Tuan, because wait, before you yell at Naji, because we
Yeah,
don't
you
want
want the
him to
last
get the
laugh.
last word. Just let him get this in,
Go ahead,
and
Najee.
and then let me get mine in,
And
and
then
then they
you.
call get his in.
Go ahead, Najee.
Well, I just wanted to appreciate Carl for coming on, and yeah, bro, these are real adult conversations. It's in like Instagram, people just like can't have adult conversations. Like, bro, how old are we here? So I appreciate Carl for coming on. I appreciate the topic, great topic.
yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
Twan, I appreciate Trinity for being the way that she is, the goat, the amazing her that she is, doing what she can. I appreciate her for being on because I know she's tired, and I appreciate everybody who tuned in. It was definitely a dope conversation. I enjoyed it. I appreciate it as always. Y'all can follow me at Healing with Najee on all platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And yeah, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Anybody who comments that I couldn't see. Usually I'd be trying to control the comments and be engaging, but I really couldn't. But I appreciate everybody. And yeah, thank y'all.
Mm.
Trinity.
Yes, tonight I want to just really get a little mushy because I
Oh.
probably won't remember this tomorrow, and if I do, I won't admit it. Not to them, right? But I do
Oh.
want to like give my two co-hosts the biggest shout out ever because I am literally dead. I was on live yesterday from 9 a.m. to like 12:30 a.m.
Wow.
And then I came back on live today and I did a few hours there, and then before I knew it, it was time for the show. So they stepped up, you know what I mean? They held me down. Twan, you did the thing. I was a little nervous. I thought you were gonna be like me, but I'm very impressed. I'm kind of like want to. Anybody in here? No, I kind of want to be like you. Just calm, but I ain't gonna say it out loud, right? So I would appreciate your whole way of just facilitating the live. Naji, man, you took up the slack by engaging in the way you did. That provoked stimulating discussions. Enough for me and Tuan to want to actually be interested in what's going to be said next, where each person is going, learning where everyone is speaking from in terms of physical and non-physical energy and density. So I just want to appreciate you, Carl, for even being here because without you, that experience would never have taken place.
Yay.
Yeah, I appreciate your tolerance for my BS. You've been tolerating my BS for years. All right, so like, thank you for sticking around. Twan been trying to change me forever, but he'll get tired and he'll leave me alone.
I gotta add this in. The thing that I that makes me enjoy conversations more. A lot of people don't know this. Is when people ask me what do I mean by what I say.
Hmm.
when I don't get that type of feedback, it tells me one, they're not listening to you. Two, they don't give a damn. Or three, they're so stuck. There's no teaching. There's no learning. So that's one of the things I appreciate when people ask me, what do I mean by what I'm saying, or have that interest. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But I'm
Well, my
all
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I'm all about trying to get people to understand marriage and how to shop better and trying to change the choices because at this age level, we all got to worry about do we have somebody that's going to wipe the shit from our ass if we get sick? And
Mhm.
are we as men with a woman that we love so much that we would do the same for her? So,
Definitely. I definitely get that. Definitely understand that where it call coming from with that. And like I said, that the show call. We thank you for coming through.
thank you, brother.
Definitely appreciate that. Definitely, I hope you come through next week. You know what I mean? Because
Sure.
definitely appreciate your input. And I'm Twan. You can reach me at cut_43 or either Antoine Daniel on Facebook. And like I said, we appreciate everyone tuning in. Hope you tune in the next week because it's going to be an extra. It's going to be a good show next week. So all we're going to do
Yes.
is keep constantly going up and going up and up. It's no going down or backwards or anything. So we appreciate y'all tonight and have a good night. Enjoy the rest of y'all night.
Get
Thank
some
y'all
Stay
rest.
for tuning
magically delicious as we remain spiritually defined. Later.
in. Later.